What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit more about gaming. In this video, I want to talk about exclusives. I guess do exclusives still matter? Now, I know the first thing is thinking like, hell yeah, they do. But I was talking about this with my friend. We were talking about different games. We were talking about this generation. We were talking about games in this generation, games in last generation. We're just talking about gaming. Usually get into those conversations. Of course, you watching this video, I'm pretty sure you've had them with plenty of your friends. Now, one that was one of the subjects we actually got on. Seeing as exclusives. It's like I said, we're third year of this generation, so you still got some exclusives coming out, but I think it's more about third parties at this point because if you go back SNES days, a lot of third parties was just working with one console or another, mainly the NES and SNES. But now these companies see, unless it's some kind of deal with said company, say for instance, for Sunset Overdrive as an example, it was an outside company who made a game for the Xbox One. Okay, but outside of that, other than it being a deal, usually the companies want to put it on as many platforms as they can. Now, unfortunately, the Wii U is one of these platforms that do not get a lot of these games. But that's a whole nother topic, and that's honestly dead horse has been beaten into the ground. So we pretty much know the whole story. With Nintendo, whatever story people make up. The bottom line is they don't get third parties. Simple as that. But we're talking about between the Xbox One, PS4 purchase. Now, the third parties are going to be the games you're going to probably buy the most because those are the games that come off more often. For instance, PS4 outside of they have some smaller exclusives, but like Bloodborne, of course, came out. Third parties have been able to fill those gaps, and that's to keep the the console from really becoming really dry, so to speak. The same with the Xbox One. Xbox One earlier this year didn't really have a bunch coming out. But then of course it had its third parties early in the year. Both PS4, Xbox One, PC gets the same third parties. For the most part. So it had its third parties come out at the beginning of the year. Then at the end of the year you drop Tomb Raider, which is a time exclusive. They already said it's going to PC in January, but it was a game that did come out first on the Xbox One. You dropped your Halo, you dropped your Forza, so you had those games, Rare Replay. You had those games come out later in the year, but then you had your third parties. Third parties, for that reason, they fill the gaps between exclusives. So each company, I would say, PS4 is a little bit more versatile, but I think Xbox One definitely in terms of just titles that they've shown, you see more versatility in their exclusives. But PS4, even if these games don't sell well, you have to give them credit. They definitely do a bunch of niche games that we probably don't know if it'll work or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. So I think they're a little bit more versatile in terms of the types of games, exclusive games that they do come out with. Xbox, especially later in the life of 360, they focus on their main games: Gears, Halo, Forza. They really focused on mainly games like that. But I think with the games like Quantum Break coming out, Sunset Overdrive, which is a very fun game to me, I still play that game, and Scalebound, the RPG. Waiting to see more on that, but we are seeing gameplay looks pretty good. It's a JRPG, a game. Pretty much that's at this point JRPGs have become very niche, and the fact that usually that's something PS4 has, maybe even Nintendo, but to see Xbox One get there, I thought that was really good. Definitely diversifying their lineup. So they've been doing a really good job with this at this current point of the Xbox One. See what they do later on in the life cycle, depending on how long the life cycle is. But when we're talking about exclusives, like I said, I already said they do matter. But they're not the only thing that matters. Take for instance Nintendo. Nintendo's released, in my opinion, some pretty good exclusives. Xenoblades, Mario Kart, Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Brothers. These are some really good exclusives. Super Smash Brothers being one of my favorite of this generation. But in between those dates of the first parties, there's been nothing because the third parties are there to fill the gaps. And you get some really big titles in third parties. Just looking at this year, if you don't like Call of Duty is one. The Witcher, Batman Arkham Knights, Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm just referring to the PC, Xbox One, PS4. But these are some games that fill the gaps in between exclusives. Like I said, Xbox One earlier this year had really no exclusives to come out, but it had those games to fill those gaps in between exclusives. So we're like, oh, we got something to play until this big name exclusive drops. So I think third parties probably matter a little bit more, but in the end, most people who game a lot like me are going to look at, okay, these are the exclusives of this console I want to play. If I want to play my Uncharted, I know I'm gonna have to go out there and get me a PS4. If I want to play my Halos, I'm gonna have to go out. I'm gonna have to go out and get an Xbox One. The same like Nintendo. Nintendo, if you want to play a Mario, but Nintendo, you mainly get it for the first parties, pretty much. The Xbox One, PS4, you can say, well, okay, I can go and get that. I'm gonna get it for the third parties, but I like these exclusives as well. And one last thing I wanted to touch on about this whole exclusive thing and people fussing all about it. To me, if a game, Street Fighter V is not an exclusive. It's on PS4, Xbox One. Halo Wars 2 is not an exclusive. It's simple as that. Do I have to own a PS4 when it comes out in February, Street Fighter V? Do I have to own a PS4 to play Street Fighter V? It's as simple as that. But to me, that shit doesn't matter. If you want to play a game, you go buy that console, you go play that game. Fuck what everybody else got to say. But if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button or subscribe. Thanks for watching.